University Challenge. Asking the questions, Jeremy Paxman.
Hello. Welcome to the last of the second round matches, after which we'll know the complete lineup for the University Challenge quarter-finals. Let's meet tonight's teams. First, we welcome back the scientists from Imperial College London, who had a convincing first-round victory over St Andrews with a score of 205, despite completely failing to recognise the formula for glucose. Let's meet the Imperial team.
Hi, I'm Jim Totty. I'm from London and I'm studying maths and physics.
Hi, I'm Nick Bradshaw from Gosport in Hampshire, and I'm studying artificial neural networks.
And their captain?
Hi, I'm Mark Pallan from Woodford Green in Essex, and I'm studying molecular bacteriology.
Hello, I'm Chris Harrison from Winchester in Hampshire, studying computer science.
Imperial's opponents tonight are the team from Lancaster University, winners of a thrilling and high-scoring first-round match against Swansea. They surprised us all, and perhaps themselves, with their in-depth knowledge of archbishops, ballet and women's fashion. Let's meet them again.
Hello, I'm John Pascoe from St Albans in Hertfordshire. I'm studying marketing and German.
Hi, I'm Dennis Fugard from Lancaster, and I'm reading psychology.
And their captain?
Hello, I'm Norman Clark from Stenhousemuir in Scotland, reading history.
Hello, Mark Hannon from Saundersfoot in Pembrokeshire, studying financial derivatives.
Well, everyone ought to know the rules by now, but as a quick reminder, a starter question is worth 10 points and must be answered by a team member on his or her own with no conferring. An incorrect interruption to a starter earns a fine of 5 points and gives the entire question to the opposition. A correctly answered starter gives that team the chance of 3 bonus questions for a further 15 points, and for these, teams may confer. Best of luck to both teams. Fingers on the buzzers. Here's the first starter for 10. The holder of which elected office requires only 3 qualifications: to be at least 35 years of age, to be a natural-born citizen of the...
Imperial Pallan. President of the United States of America.
That's correct. He has to be a citizen and he has to live there 14 years. Right, your bonuses are on operas based on written works. Name either of the works by the 20th century American playwright David Belasco on which Puccini based 2 of his best-known operas.
What's the name of the book?
I'll pass that. I'll let you answer that one.
La Fanciulla del West.
Yep, that's good enough. That's one of them. The other one was Madame Butterfly. You only had to choose one. Right. Tchaikovsky wrote 3 operas based on works by Pushkin. One was Mazeppa, after the poem Poltava. Name either of the other 2.
Queen of Spades.
Correct. The other one was Eugene Onegin. Verdi composed 3 operas based on plays by Shakespeare, whom he greatly admired. One was Falstaff. Which were the other 2?
Othello.
Tempest, was it?
No.
Come on.
Romeo and Juliet?
Tempest.
No, it was Othello and Macbeth. On the list, you got 2 out of 3. That takes you to 20 points. Lancaster still to get off the mark. Here's a starter question. What's the numerical value of logarithm to the base e of e to the power x, where x equals 3?
Imperial Bradshaw.
3.
3 is correct. Easy when you know how. Here are your bonuses. Which tract of reclaimed land extends approximately from Hythe in Kent to Winchelsea in East Sussex?
Romney Marsh.
Romney Marsh is right. Which marshes lying on the border between Belarus and Ukraine are bounded on the north by the Belarusian Ridge and on the south by the Volya, Podolsk and Dnieper uplands?
Pripyat.
Pripyat marshes is correct. In which country in southern Africa are the Okavango swamps, which occupy an area of about 4,000 square miles?
Botswana. Botswana, is it? All right. Botswana.
Botswana's right. Starter question. Who are widely accepted as being the parents of Ptolemy XV, also known as...
Lancaster Clark.
Marcus Antonius and Cleopatra.
No, you lose 5 points, so you go to -5, also known as Caesarion.
Imperial Totty.
Julius Caesar and Cleopatra.
That's correct. Imperial, you get 3 questions. Jewish festivals. Deriving from the Hebrew for dedication, which Jewish observance, also called the Festival of Lights, celebrate... Hanukkah is correct. You didn't need to interrupt. You can take the whole thing. It is a bonus. Nonetheless, let's take the second part of it. The Kol Nidre is a prayer annulling certain vows made during the year and is sung in synagogues on the eve of which festival?
Yom Kippur.
Yom Kippur is right. What is the more common name for Sukkot, or Feast of Booths?
Feast of
An autumn
Festival
festival
of
recalling the time
Tabernacles.
when the Israelites wandered in the wilderness.
Tabernacles.
Yeah, I was just repeating it for the benefit of the audience, and perhaps not as clever as you. Right. Well done, takes you to 70 points. OK, here's a starter question. The Russian director Konstantin Alexeyev was the author of An Actor Prepares, which advocated seeking an inner realism so that actors could become the roles they played.
Imperial Bradshaw.
Method acting.
No, you lose 5 points. By what stage name was Alexeyev better known?
Lancaster Hannon.
Is it Stanislavski?
It is Stanislavski. Get these bonuses, you'd be well on track to come back. In a double carbon-carbon bond, such as in ethene, what name is given to the bond formed by the overlapping of the two p atomic orbitals?
Covalent bond. Covalent bond.
Mr. Hannon.
Covalent bond.
No, it's a pi bond. Which Greek mathematician showed in measurements of the circle that the value of pi lay between 3 and 1/7 and 3 and 10/71?
Greek.
Euclid, is it?
Archimedes, Pythagoras. Which one? Go right. Archimedes. Euclid. Euclid.
Okay. Euclid.
No, it was Archimedes. What's the principal decay mode of the uncharged pi meson?
Say it's beta radiation.
Pardon?
I don't know. Beta radiation.
Beta radiation?
No, it's not. It's 2 gamma rays or 2 gammas or 2 photons. Right, let's take another starter question. What connects the characters of Elizabeth Mannering in Dad's Army, Mrs. Arthur Daly in Minder?
Lancaster Hannon.
Well, you never get to see them. You talk about them, but they don't.
They are characters who never appear. You got it from the last one. It's going to be Godot in Waiting for Godot. Here are your bonuses. If polygamy means multiple marriage, what word means specifically having more than one husband at the same time?
Polyandry.
Polyandry is right. Bessie Wallace Warfield's first marriage in 1916 was to Earl Spencer, whom she met in Florida. But who were her other 2 husbands?
She married Edward VIII.
Yeah,
I think. Mr. Wallace. She married a Mr. Wallace, and then she married Edward VIII.
No, she married a Mr. Simpson and then Edward VIII, and I needed both of them, sorry. Before her involvement with Woody Allen, who were the first 2 husbands of Mia Farrow?
And Andre Previn, I think.
Frank Sinatra and Andre Previn. Yeah. Frank Sinatra and Andre Previn.
That's correct. We're going now to take our first picture round. You're about to see a picture of an actor in a film with which he made his directorial debut. Name both the actor and the film.
Lancaster Fugard.
Clint Eastwood.
I'm sorry, if you buzz, you've got to give it straight away. I'm offering it now to Imperial. But no conferring. Buzz if one of you knows it. None of you seem to know it. It's Play Misty for me. So you will get the picture bonuses when one of you gets a starter question right. Here it comes. Which English city was referred to in the Doomsday Book as Eskerfeld and has districts called Eccles Hall, Broom Hill and Nether Edge?
Imperial Palin.
Edinburgh.
No, any idea, Lancaster? No conferring?
Lancaster Pascoe.
Glasgow.
No, it's not. It's Sheffield. Here's another starter question. Cuprous compounds are those containing copper.
Lancaster Hannon.
No, if you...
Iron.
No, and you lose 5 points. Copper in its lowest +1 oxidation state. But what name is given to compounds containing copper in its higher +2?
Imperial Bradshaw.
Cupric.
Cupric is correct. You then get the picture bonuses. We stay with actor-directors. 3 more photos of actor-directors. Who are they? Here's the first.
Any ideas? I'm afraid we don't know.
Say Hitchcock.
Oh, it's Hitchcock.
Hitchcock.
No, it's not. It's Charles Lawton. Here's the second.
No idea. No.
No, I'm afraid we don't know.
That's John Huston, finally.
No,
That's Gene Kelly. Well, that wasn't worth waiting for, was it? Let's take another starter question. Which land referred to by Jonathan Swift as a synonym for sleep was, according to Genesis, the place of Cain's
Imperial Palin.
the land of Nod.
The land of Nod was the place of Cain's exile following the murder of his brother Abel. Here are your bonuses, Imperial. From which cabinet position did Hugh Dalton suddenly resign in November 1947 because he talked to a journalist?
Chancellor? Yeah, Chancellor, I think.
Chancellor.
Chancellor of the Exchequer, he revealed some budget details. In which athletics event did Dalton Grant win European Cup gold medals in 1989 and 1991 and a World Cup silver, as well as several UK and 3A's championships?
The high jump.
The high jump's right. In which 1968 film about the Plantagenets did Timothy Dalton and Anthony Hopkins each make their film debuts playing the sons of Peter O'Toole's character?
We say War of the Roses.
No, it was The Lion in Winter. I see where you were going, but you were wrong. Right, to start a question. If Gordon is blue and 4, James is red and 5, and Percy is green and 6, who is blue and 1?
Imperial Harrison.
Is it Thomas the Tank Engine?
Yes, he is. Takes you over 100. Here are your bonuses. What did the Argentinian writer Jorge Luis Borges describe in 1983 as a fight between two bald men over a comb?
Falkland Islands?
Falkland Islands War.
The Falklands thing, the War of 1982, that's right. Prior to 1982, the Royal Navy was involved in another battle of the Falkland Islands during which war?
No, it's earlier than that. Could it be?
First one.
Yeah, if you think so.
First World War.
The First World War, it's where they sank the Graf Spee and the Scharnhorst. In which play of 1775 did the characters of Falkland, Sir Lucius O'Trigger and Lydia Languish appear?
She Stoops to Conquer?
No, it's The Rivals by Sheridan. Right, we're going on to another starter question now. There's plenty of time, Lancaster, to come back. 10 points if you get this. The Violet Crowned City is an ancient nickname for which city used by Pindar and Aristophanes for the home of the original academy?
Imperial Palin.
Athens?
Athens is correct. Here are your bonuses. J.J. Thomson's model of the atom, which envisaged that the negatively charged electrons were distributed inside a uniformly charged positive sphere of atomic diameter, is popularly known as what?
The solar system.
No, that was the plum pudding model, isn't it?
Is it? Okay.
Yeah,
The plum pudding model?
It is. Which German physicist built the first version of his radiation detector and used it and other detectors in the classic alpha particle scattering experiment, which led Rutherford to postulate the nuclear model of the atom?
Geiger?
Geiger is right. One of the successes of the Bohr theory of the atom was its ability to account for the Blamer series of lines observed in the visible spectrum of light from which element?
Hydrogen.
Hydrogen is correct. Do it through your captain next time, please. Right, another starter question. Identify this famous name in sport. Born in Ireland in 1965, his statue adorns the venue where he won his sports major prize, a record 3...
Lancaster Hannon.
Red rum?
It is red rum. Plenty of time. Here are your bonuses. Who, in his capacity as architect to the Imperial War Graves Commission, designed the cenotaph in Whitehall?
Lutyens.
It was Sir Edwin Lutyens. Which painter, noted for his studies of animals, offered to adopt Lutyens, who was the 11th of 14 children, an offer refused by his mother, although she consented to him bearing the painter's name?
Okay. Stubbs.
No, it was Edwin Landseer. Lutyens' full name was Edwin Landseer Lutyens. In which was a modern Catholic cathedral built to a design by Frederick Gibbard above the crypt of the original building designed by Lutyens.
Liverpool. Yeah. Liverpool.
Liverpool is right. We're going to take a music round now. You're about to hear an excerpt from a famous sonata. For 10 points, can you name the composer?
Lancaster Fugard.
Beethoven.
It was Beethoven, piano sonata in C-sharp. The Moonlight, of course. Very good to get it so quickly. OK, we stay with piano music for your bonus questions. In each case, I would like you to name the composer. First for 5 points.
It's Mozart.
Okay, 545 in C minor, the Allegro. Right, second for further 5 points.
Sati.
It is. It's Trois Guillemets de Paix, if I can pronounce it correctly, or even have a stab at it. Finally, for 5 points.
Claire de Lune. Debussy. Debussy.
It is, yes. Claire de Lune. Takes you to 65. Imperial have 140, and we're going to take another starter question. What name, coming from the German for two, is given to an ion that has a positive...
Imperial Palin.
Zwitterion.
Zwitterion has a positive and negative charge on the same group of ions. Brilliantly buzzed. Here are your bonuses. The series of GATT multilateral trade liberalisation negotiations, which began in Punta del Este in 1986 and which finally reached conclusion in 1994, were known as what?
Uruguay round.
They were. What was the popular name of the urban guerrilla movement founded in Uruguay in 1963 by Raul Sendic, originally as a sort of Robin Hood organisation?
Senderistas?
Oh, no, you're thinking of the Sendero Luminoso in Peru. The Tupamaros were the Uruguayans. Which town in western Uruguay is the centre of the meatpacking industry, its name being particularly associated with, in this country, with corned beef?
Fray Bentos?
Fray Bentos is correct. There are about 11 minutes to go. And here's a starter question. Meaning irritable or easily made angry, no hanging around, spell the word irascible.
Imperial Totti.
I-R-A-S-C-I-B-L-E.
That's correct. Here are your bonuses. In which year did approximately 50 nations, including the USA, boycott the Olympics?
1980.
1980.
1980, they were protesting the Russian invasion of Afghanistan. At the 1984 Los Angeles Olympics, Carl Lewis won 4 gold medals, emulating Jesse Owens' feat of 1936. Name 3 of the 4 events won by Lewis.
100, 4 by 100 long jump. Yes.
Well, I'll let you answer that one.
100, 200, 4 by 100 and long jump.
That's all of them. Well done. Finally, for a possible 5 points, I'd like you to name 2 of the 3 former constituent republics of Yugoslavia who competed in the 1992 Games under the banner of Independent Olympic Participants, or IOP.
2. Croatia and... Slovenia? Slovenia?
Yeah. For Bosnia, because Slovenia was recognised earlier.
Croatia and Bosnia.
Croatia and Bosnia.
Bad luck, spectacular miss. In fact, it was Serbia, Montenegro and Macedonia, although I should congratulate you for identifying correctly hydrogen out of my mispronunciation of the Barmer series at the Blamer series. 9.5 minutes ago, here's another starter question. T.S. Eliot's poems Burnt Norton, East Coker, The Dry Salvages and Little Gidding...
Lancaster Clark.
4 quartets.
They are known as the 4 quartets. Here are your bonuses. In June 1987, David Steele proposed the merger of which 2 political parties?
The Liberals and the SDPs.
That's correct, the Social Democrats. In 1988, who did Paddy Ashdown defeat in an election for leadership of the SLD?
Beef? Alan Beith?
It was Alan Beith. Which MP was elected president of the Liberal Democrats in 1990?
Charles Kennedy, I think. Charles Kennedy.
It was Charles Kennedy. There are 8.5 minutes to go. Here's a starter question. Which canine welfare institution founded in Holloway in 1860 by Mary...
Lancaster Hannon.
The Canine Defence League.
No, you lose 5 points. By Mary Tealby, moved south of the Thames to its present
Imperial
site.
Palin.
Battersea Dogs Home.
Battersea Docks Home is correct. Here are your bonuses, Imperial. Eddie Vedder is the lead vocalist with which band who backed Neil Young on his 1995 album Mirrorball?
Come on, you know obscure pop music, you know?
Him on.
No. Chris?
No, you're the obscure.
No.
No, we're not obscure enough to know that.
It's Pearl Jam. Which battleship sunk during the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor is now part of a national memorial there? Come on.
Alabama?
No, it's the USS Arizona. Close, but not close enough. On which island is Bizet's opera The Pearlfishers set?
Ceylon, Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka or Ceylon is correct. Right, we'll take a picture round. 85 and 195. For your picture starter, you're about to see the map outline of a country. Which country is it?
Imperial Bradshaw.
Japan.
It is Japan. Right. We stay with Japan for your bonuses. Coming up is the outline of Japan. For 5 points each, name the highlighted islands in order A, B, C.
B's Hokkaido.
Yeah, B's Hokkaido.
Okay.
One of them's Honshu.
No, the big one's Honshu.
So Kyoto.
No,
Is Satsuma an island or just a town?
no, I think that's just a town.
Kyoto.
Kyoto's a town.
No, it's
Should we name some other islands?
I don't know. I mean, what's...
We watched this agonising long enough. Give us an answer.
B's Hokkaido.
We know that B is a Hokkaido, but otherwise we've drawn a blank.
Okay, the A is Shikoku and C is Kyushu, or Kyushu. That means you get 5 points out of that round. Right, let's take another starter question. Which theory of perceptual organisation, whose name is German for configuration?
Imperial Bradshaw.
Gestalt.
Gestalt is correct. The whole is more than the sum of the parts. Here are your bonuses. 3 questions on food additives. In terms of the acceptability of food additives, what do the initials GRAS stand for?
Additive substance, maybe, or something?
GRAS.
Something recommended.
Generally recommended.
Additive substance?
Generally recommended as suitable.
No, generally regarded as safe. That's not acceptable. Emulsifiers and stabilizers alter the texture and consistency of food and perform an important function which extends their shelf life.
They have an antibacterial effect.
No, they prevent the separation of ingredients. E210 has the chemical formula C6H5COOH and is a white crystalline compound which occurs naturally in some plants and is used as a food preservative. What is the chemical name for this substance?
Citric acid? Pectin. No.
I think it is citric acid. Citric acid.
No, it's not. It's benzoic acid. Scientists aren't doing very well on that. 5.5 minutes to go. Here's a starter question. Which disease was first cured by injection when, in July 1885?
Imperial Palin.
Diabetes.
No, you lose 5 points. In July 1885, Louis Pasteur saved the life of 9-year-old Joseph Meister.
Lancaster Hannon.
Rabies.
Rabies is correct. Here are your bonuses. Which brother was the American equivalent of John Bull as a national symbol in the time of George Washington?
Uncle Sam?
No, it was brother Jonathan. According to the Bible, Jonathan was a friend to David and the eldest son of whom?
Saul.
Saul is right. Jonathan Wild, Amelia, and A Journal of a Voyage to Lisbon are works by which 18th century author?
Defoe.
No, it was Henry Fielding. 4.5 minutes to go. Here's a starter question. What's the nickname of Haydn's Mass in D minor, which, according to one theory, was first performed on the day that news of Napoleon's...
Lancaster Clark.
The Nelson Mass.
The Nelson Mass, that's right. 3 questions on insect orders for you. Which insects make up the order Coleoptera?
Beetles.
Beetles is right. Which insects, along with ants and sawflies, make up the order Hymenoptera?
Whatever.
Worth a guess?
Dragonflies.
Dragonflies?
No, it's bees and wasps. Which insects make up the order Lepidoptera?
They're butterflies. They're butterflies.
Butterflies and moths. 4 minutes to go. Here's another starter question. To convert a temperature on the Celsius scale to one on the Fahrenheit scale, by what factor should the Celsius...
Imperial Harrison.
Multiplied by 9/5.
That's correct, yes, or 1.8. Here are your bonuses. As what were the following former British colonies in Africa renamed when they achieved independence? Firstly, the Gold Coast.
Ghana. Ghana.
Ghana's correct. Secondly, Nyasaland.
Malawi.
Malawi is right. Thirdly, Basuto land.
That's Lesotho.
Lesotho.
Lesotho is correct. There are 3 minutes to go. Here's another starter question. Derived from the Spanish pike, what name is given to a mounted bullfighter who carries a lance?
Imperial Bradshaw.
Picador.
A picador is correct. Here are your bonuses, Imperial. Which Harvard-educated actor starred in the title role of the film Cobb, which opened in Britain in July 1995?
Baseball.
Come on.
Brad Pitt. They're always everything's Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt.
No, it wasn't. It was Tommy Lee Jones. In 1994, Tommy Lee Jones won an Oscar for his performance as Lieutenant Philip Gerard in which film?
The Fugitive.
The Fugitive's right. In 1991, Tommy Lee Jones was nominated for an Oscar for his portrayal of which suspected Kennedy assassination conspirator in Oliver Stone's film JFK?
FBI.
Come on.
No. Yeah, FBI.
Come on.
What's his name?
We know it's someone in the FBI, but we can't mention the name.
Clay Shaw is the name I was looking for. Just over 2 minutes to go. Here's another starter question. The hallmarking of which precious metal has been compulsory in Britain since 1975?
Lancaster Hannon.
Would it be platinum?
It is platinum, yes. 2 minutes to go. Here are your bonuses. King George VI, before becoming Duke of York, was known by which of his first names?
Albert.
It was Prince Albert, Bertie to his family. Which European country's King Albert was killed in a fall while rock climbing in 1934?
Belgium.
Belgium is right. In which 1994 film did Albert Finney play Andrew Crocker Harris, a classics teacher at a public school about to take early retirement?
Oh, yeah, the Browning version.
The Browning version is correct. 1.5 minutes to go. Here's a starter question. Which 19th century French novelist grouped his life's works into one major opus with the Dante-esque title La Comédie Humaine? No idea. It was Honoré de Balzac. Let's go on to another starter question. What was the surname shared by the Venetian Jacopo and his sons Gentili and Giovanni, all of whom were significant artists in the...
Lancaster Fugard.
Canaletto.
No, you lose 5 points in the history of the Italian Renaissance.
Imperial Bradshaw.
Bellini.
Bellini is correct. Here are your bonuses, Imperial. In music and poetry, what is the characteristic of a piece called an obad? Or obad, sorry.
Don't know.
It's connected with the dawn. Which goddess was the Roman equivalent of Eos, goddess of the dawn?
Eos. No.
Come on.
No idea.
Aurora.
Aurora is correct. In which television comedy written by Richard Curtis did Dawn French play Geraldine Granger?
Oh, was that the Vicar of Dibley?
The Vicar of Dibley.
It was the Vicar of Dibley. There are about 30 seconds to go. Here's a starter question. The second verse of which well-known song begins with the words, O Lord our God, arise, scatter her enemies?
Imperial Harrison.
It's the national anthem.
It is God Save the Queen. Here are your bonuses. According to the rhyme, on what day of the week was Solomon Grundy buried?
Monday.
No, he's buried on Sunday. Who wrote the lyrics for the song Cycle Tell Me on a Sunday, composed by Andrew Lloyd Webber?
Don Black.
Don Black.
Don Black is correct. Which hill was A.E. Houseman describing? There goes the Don and the Don. Lancaster have 140 points. Imperial College have 290. So, sadly, Lancaster, we shall have to say goodbye to you. You never really hit your stride tonight, not in the way that you did so convincingly last time, but thanks very much for taking part. Many congratulations to you, Imperial. 290 is a magnificent score. We look forward to seeing you again in the quarterfinals. That, of course, completes our second-round matches. So here is the lineup for the University Challenge quarterfinals. Selwyn Cambridge will play University College Oxford. Pembroke Oxford will play the LSE. Warwick will play Newcastle, and Exeter will play tonight's winners, Imperial College London. I hope you'll be able to join us next time for the first of those quarterfinals. Until then, it's goodbye from Lancaster.
Good night.
It's goodbye from Imperial.
Good night.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.
Coming up next on BBC Two, you'll either love them or hate them. We'll meet them next in Modern Times. You can test your general knowledge with the University Challenge Quiz Book, available from bookshops.